Welcome to the MFR Coaches podcast, where we talk about how you can create a six-figure MFR practice. I'm your host, Heather Hommel. Not only have I been practicing MFR for 11 years, I'm also a life and business coach, especially for MFR therapists. My goal is for you to understand how to get fully booked, how to talk to your clients, and how to make sure they understand what's possible for them with MFR treatment. I'm here to help you stop under-earning, overworking, and burning out. I'll lend support so you can create the MFR practice you've always wanted. Learn how you can do it too, even if you live in a tiny town, and even if you're just starting out, and even if you've ran your practice for years. Let's go. Welcome back to the MFR Coaches podcast. I'm your host, Heather Hommel. My guest today is a student of mine, Anna Martinez. She's owner of Subtle Body Wellness in Northwest Indiana. Anna's story is very interesting in that she took the long road to MFR. She brewed kombucha, ran a cafe, worked in food justice, and then chose to rebuild her career with a lot of intention. Inside my Foundations program, she simplified to a single MFR offer, raised her rates not once but twice, and created stable 10K revenue months while working about 12 to 14 hours a week seeing MFR clients. We are going to talk about the real life behind the numbers. Anna shares how losing her son shaped the way she lives and works, how she caught herself sliding back into hustle, and how coaching and clear systems helped her create a business that supports her life. If you're in the messy middle, this conversation will show you what is possible when you decide to lead your practice on purpose. Enjoy the episode. Anna, welcome to the podcast. Thanks for joining me. How are you doing?
I'm great. Thanks for having me. I'm really excited.
Awesome. Can you give the audience maybe just your background in general, and then I'm going to ask you some other questions. Tell us how you got here.
Yeah. So I kind of took the long way here. I went to massage school in 2007. I graduated in 2008. It was as the recession was happening. I was also getting divorced at that time, and I had 3 small kids. I was also happened to be working as a bartender at like a world famous brewery that was pulling in lots of money because everybody was depressed and drinking. So, so I decided I was going to hold off on my massage, pursuits. And I just kind of stayed along that path for many years. I became a kombucha brewer. I opened a cafe. I, did all sorts of things. And then, 2020, I closed down my business altogether. I was completely burned out. I knew that I needed something different in life. My whole mission was to try to bring clean, healthy food into a kind of like a food desert area. We don't like to use that term anymore, but it was, low income, not a lot of options. But I was burned out. So in the process of trying to heal the world, I burned myself out. And so I took a job for a little while at a nonprofit. We did food justice work. I got to work alongside farmers as well as schools and the elderly to try to bring everybody healthy food. And that's when I finally really leaned back into massage. I realized like I had this dream all those years ago. It was what I wanted to do. It still always kind of like haunted me in the background. And I was in my 40s, mid 40s at that point. And I realized like it's never too late. And so I started dabbling. I started getting my continuing ed classes. And that's what started to bring me this way.
Okay. So at what point did you figure out or hear about myofascial release? What got you started into myofascial release?
So in 2008, I remember we touched on myofascial for just a minute. It was like probably like a 30-minute segment of massage school. And I was super intrigued. And I would always get those like weird little flyers in the mail. And I was like, what is this? I don't know what this is. But I was curious. So I decided as part of my continuing ed that I needed to do to like get my licensing back up and ready, I had to, take these courses. So I was like, I'm going to check this thing out. Well, I didn't tell anybody at the time, but right before my first myofascial one, my son passed away. And so I was carrying a lot, wasn't expecting it. I was carrying a lot on my body, on my heart, my mind, everything.
Yeah.
So I went to MFR 1, and what I thought was going to be strictly techniques turned into like a whole other mind-blowing experience. And I am a pretty private person, so I didn't tell them, but my whole body was shaking by the end. Day 2, it started. And I went up to one of the instructors on my last day, and I was just like, I cannot stop shaking. I don't know what's going on with my body. And she was like, well, sometimes, there's flight and there's fight. there's freeze. And then she was like, and sometimes we go through a thaw. She's like, I suspect that something major's happened in your life and you're thawing right now. And my mind was blown. And I was sobbing the whole way home and I was shaking, but I felt like a whole different sense of being. And I
Yeah.
realized how powerful myofascial release was at that point. And then I was like, then I was all in. I drank the Kool-Aid and I was like, sign me up for everything.
That's incredible. That's wild. Okay. So how long after that class did you decide, okay, I want to have myofascial release? I'm assuming you already had your massage business going by this point.
Yeah. So I was still working full time and I was doing massage like once or twice a week. I was just doing massage here and there. I was renting out a per client, space. It
Yeah.
was very easy. But I think I did regular massage for a total of like 6 months. And then I went to,
That's kind of cool. Then you were like right into the MFR stuff.
yeah.
Very good. Okay. So let's kind of fast forward a little bit. So when you first joined, I have on your paperwork that your goal was to leave your full-time job by June of 2025.
Yes.
So can you tell me, like, did you do that? Like, what's going on with the full-time job?
Yeah. So the full time job is gone. I am my full time job here. My business is my full time job.
Yep.
I left right before what would have been my son who passed away, right before his birthday. And that was in March. So his birthday was on St. Patrick's Day. I left March 16th, I believe it was.
Okay.
And I had a nice full roster of clients at that point honestly, because of all the coaching that I got.
When did you join coaching? Do you remember?
No, it was November. It was late November. I thought that there was just going to be no way. My rates were pretty low. I had like my massage rate basically.
Mhm.
And I just thought it was like ludicrous to ask for anything more than that. And after some coaching, which you're still helping me on, I just raised it again, but I did raise it to something more financially stable for me.
Yeah.
And nobody batted an eye. It was giving them something that is not to neck massage, but you can find a massage therapist anywhere. But myofascial release is a little harder to come by. It's a whole different experience. And I think it's a whole different level of healing that I'm still trying to figure out how to talk about, my personal story and my business.
Yeah. Like, I know we've talked about this about you also being concerned about your massage clients, like being upset with the changes that you were making. Like, how has that gone? You've made lots of changes, right? I think you went from like offering lots of options to not offering lots of options to now not really offering massage to anyone new. What's that been like, that transition?
It's been a lot easier. I noticed like I was hesitating about offering, because for a while I was like energy work, massage therapy, like myofascial. I mean, I had like everything,
The
sound
menu.
healing. Yeah, like yoga one-on-one. I had everything that I could possibly offer. And you were convincing me like one offer, it'll make it easier. And I started looking at my past clients and I realized that like, I don't know, 60 to 70% of my clients were myofascial release anyways. That's what everybody wanted. I was like, okay, you could do this. Like, you can do this. And so I
Mhm.
did. And I still have some clients. Like, I have an insurance group that uses me for their employees. I have a couple of massage clients because, like, I'm still like easing out. I'm like 90% myofascial, but nobody seems to have cared at all. It's kind of like all been in my head for the most part.
Like, you care the most because you have the thoughts about it the most often. Like, someone's out there worrying about it. Yeah.
Yes. So that's kind of the
But I feel like you're good about, getting what you need out of coaching. And like when these things come up, like you've been on to yourself several times, like, oh, I find myself doing this, like what's going on, and asking questions and kind of getting what you need out of it, which is really good. Okay. So you've also been really open with me, like in the Facebook group on your weekly reports about drifting into overworking and like commuting all over the place to kind of appease people or fit people in. What
Mhm.
did it take for you to recognize that hustle wasn't actually helping? And how did you start to kind of pull yourself back from getting into that pattern again?
Yeah, that just happened more recent. Well, the recognizing the pattern. I have like literally either had like a newspaper route, babysitting, whatever, since I was about 8. So like
You know how to hustle and grind?
I do. It's like it's unfortunately what I know how to do.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to pull back and to realize like this is not serving me or my clients, honestly. So I realized that I was falling into my old habits of like just taking on all of the things going. I was teaching yoga at a recovery center. I was, had my clients at my office. I have another small office by my house, and I was just kind of like running all over the place.
Yeah.
And I was with one of my clients, and I was super tired in the session. And I was just like, "This is bullshit." She's, like, paying for your time, and she's paying good money, and you're, like, half here. And if you really are like, I changed my entire life, especially, like, after my son passed away.
Yeah.
If I was truly trying to live an intentional life, helping people intentionally find their healing within their bodies, I was doing both of us a disservice, and then I got coached around it. So, I mean, that's kind of when all that happened. I don't know if I even answered that, sorry.
Yeah. No, I think you did.
Okay.
I have a question like about your son passing. Do you feel like that event has changed the way you think about like how you want to experience your life or experience your business? Like, does that event just like influence everything that goes on now?
Every single day of my life, yes. On purpose, living a more intentional and meaningful and slower paced life. So, like, when I started to speed up again, I was not doing the things that, like, I know is good for me and my other kids. I have 2 other adult children, but one of them still lives with me. I was just like, "You're falling into this again." And, if there's one thing, like, I'm gonna try not to cry, but, like,
You can cry if you need to. It's okay.
my son Presley doesn't get to, like, wake up in the morning to see another day, so, like, every day that I get the opportunity to do so, I'm
Yeah.
gonna do it to the best of my ability. That means all sorts of things. It means, like, walking my dog, but it also means, like, knowing that I deserve more in life and knowing that I deserve, like, to not struggle so much, like, life doesn't have to, which is what you're currently helping me.
Yeah. I love that idea of like realizing, like it's one thing to hustle and work hard. Like you're probably never going to not work hard. Like you're always going to make ends meet and get the job done or do what you say you're going to do. That's your personality, right? That's just who your structure.
Yes.
But there's like this difference in making different decisions that also allow for you to do that in a luxurious way or in a way where you're like heavily, heavily supported. And I think when we do these things and we're the ones that create that support, it can feel really unnerving in a way, or like, can I trust this? But it's like, who better than to trust than yourself? Because like, you already get shit done
Right.
and you know that you've survived the hardest thing that any mother could possibly have happen. And you could even thrive, like you are thriving, right?
Yeah. I mean, I am built that way for sure, but, like, the coaching has taken that chatter that sometimes it would take me years to finally clue in on this, and it's taking me, I mean, literally sometimes, like, days and weeks just to shift that mindset, which is,
Mhm.
I mean, the value in that is just
I've seen you do it in a matter of hours. Like I was just like trying to keep up. I was at mobilization this weekend, so I wasn't in our Facebook group a ton. But when I did log in, like I was watching you in real time, like ask a question, like one of us would respond to you, and like you just worked it out. And that was like in regards to even getting another rate increase out there and like working through a couple of issues, right?
yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that idea of like collapsing time, and you're such a good example of that. What maybe you would have figured out on your own in a few years, you've now figured out in months, weeks, hours, minutes, days, and then had reap the benefits of having that compounding interest of having that figured out sooner.
1,000%. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
That's what's fun for me to watch is like I really do feel like anyone who joins the group can have these experiences. They have to want it for themselves, right? But in the beginning, like I want it more probably for everybody than they've they even know.
Right.
But then once you walk in and I see a student walk in and like start going after the things, and I'm like, let's go. Cause there's really probably nothing you can't accomplish now at this point because you have all of the tools and the resources and you've really learned how to like lean into them and ask for the help.
Yeah, I don't know if people understand, well, I shouldn't say that, but I think that it's really important to say, like, part of coaching and part of having like a great friend group or whatever is sometimes you need people to believe in you before you have the ability to believe in yourself. And ideally, we would all be super, confident and we hold these beliefs. And sometimes they just need to like, you got the tiny little spark in your heart, but you need somebody there like, no, like feeding the fire, like, no, we got this.
Yeah. Or that says, "Hey, I see that spark in your heart. Like it's not covered up by your clothing. Like I can see it in there and it wants to come out."
Right, right. I love it.
Yeah. Well, I had the pleasure of getting to know you and have lunch with you in St. Paul, Minnesota, when we were at Cervical Thoracic together, just like in July. So that was really fun. It's always fun to meet people in person and just like get a sense of who you are, like in the real world, not over Zoom. But yeah, that was really fun.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
What's your favorite seminar so far?
I think cervical thoracic was I really did like that one. I'm retaking fascial pelvis
Oh,
in
yeah,
a couple of weeks.
one of my faves.
That's your that's your fave. The healing seminar, I know it's not like a part of the, thing, but I mean, that's what I did after MFR1. Then I went to Sedona into the healing seminar. It was like,
Oh, good.
it was just an explosion of all sorts of things. So, yeah,
Yeah.
all of them.
Well, I'm sure like that helped you process so much with what happened with your son and like get into your body so that you could process.
Yes, it did. I knew that that was part of like how I would be able to serve my clients better was to, like take all of, and I mean, it's not all gone, obviously, it never,
Obviously, yeah. Never gonna grieve again. You're fine. Yeah.
right, right. I got clear on some things. I let go of some things. I processed some things that I was like, okay, now I can continue my education here again because like it's just a little bit more of me is healed. And honestly, seminars are quite healing too.
Yeah, they are. That's good. I'm like super happy for you to find that and for that to be
Oh yeah.
that piece for you because yeah, that's so good. And then also like you being having moments of feeling healed or moments of feeling good just helps you to help more people and not get stuck where you feel like, your life is over and I can't move forward and I'm like never going to be able to do anything in the world. And you
Right.
have so much to offer the world, is what I'm saying. Like, I'm so happy that you've put yourself in this position to be doing more of the myofascial release work. So that's
Thank
good.
you. Yeah. It's been
Okay.
good.
So I was like snooping around in your profile and like pulling out all of your data. And I noticed that by August, you shared that you were fully booked for the entire month, which was a pretty huge milestone for you. What did that feel like when that happened for you in August? And what were you like, what was going on?
Yeah. I'm not trying to like toot my own horn here, but
I mean, that's what we're doing here. So toodaloo.
I've been fully booked for a while now.
That's amazing. Tell me how long.
I mean, it had to be. I didn't clock it. If I looked, it probably, I mean, so I quit my job in March. I was
Mhm.
seeing about 10 to 12 people immediately. It always stayed around. I think I like maybe once or twice I dipped down to about 5 or 6 people in a week. And I was freaked out for the week. And then it was just like, so I mean, it's kind of been good from the get-go.
Yeah, that's great. I think people need to hear that. Like you can transition to MFR only and remain fully booked if you already had a business, or you can get fully booked right away. It doesn't have to take a long time.
It doesn't have to take a long time at all. Yeah, I think what I shared is like my whole month of September was fully booked, or at the end of
By
August.
the
Or
beginning of August or something, like you even had
yeah,
yeah, okay. Like that sounds more what I'm remembering too. That's really cool. How does it feel to like realize you've created that stability where you're not just booked for that week or that day. It's like the month and now like the month after or the month after that.
yeah. I mean, it feels amazing. It feels awesome. Like I love to spiral and worry. I'm definitely that person. So like it's like, oh yeah, wait, you're good. You don't have to. Of course, I just created a little bit of that for myself again because I just raised my rate. But I'll find my,
You'll find your equilibrium.
it will, and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
But it's part of like that growing process.
Yeah. Well, and like imagine, okay, would Anna back in November when she first joined this program, November 2024, fast forwarded to now and been like, oh, I started doing MFR only, like the majority of the time. I raised my rate and then I had the audacity to raise my rate again.
Right. Yeah, no, I wouldn't have done that. I mean, I probably would have inched up to, my first rate increase.
$5 at a time.
Right. Which is like, why? Why do that? We don't have to do that.
Something occurred to me this weekend when I was at the seminar, and I was just thinking, like, what is the cost of not raising your rate when it needs to be raised? Like, what is the overall dollar amount? I mean, it's probably like hundreds of thousands of dollars over the lifetime of a business. Just waiting, just hesitating 6 months, just hesitating a year. Some people wait 5 years.
Yeah, I think I was like, I'll be happy if I make $5,000 a month. And I think that I've been tracking. I mean, I have been blowing. I think I average around 10K a month,
Yeah.
for months, for pretty much since I quit my job. And like, it's empowering to know that I can create that for myself and that I don't have to rely on somebody else to pay me that. Like, like I'm in charge of my future and I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, how many women do you know that sit around the table and they're just like, did you know that I just had 10K of revenue this month? And PS, on top of that, my expenses, my overhead is low because I've set my business up in a way like that I'm making a lot of profit too.
Yes. I mean, yeah, I used to when I owned my cafe and I was brewing kombucha. I mean, I was working probably like 80 hours a week. I was extremely tired. I was still taking like two of my kids to school and I was exhausted and I had no money to show for it. I was like,
And what was your revenue in that business a month?
I was doing good, but I had employees.
Yeah.
I can't even look at my books, to be honest.
Isn't that wild? Like, you're like, I don't even know.
Yeah, I couldn't look because I was just like, I mean, like now I look at things, I'm like, wow, I remember when I really wanted that shelf for my cafe. And I was like, I can't afford that. And now I'm just like, it's like pennies, and just like that whole mindset of the struggle that I was willing to be in.
Yeah.
I'm just so glad that I've found a career that not only supports like me financially, but is mentally and emotionally stabilizing me.
Yeah.
And then, having the coaching around all of this when I do start to spiral, it's just healing on a whole different level.
Yeah. Well, I think coaching also just like normalizes what you're going through. So then you can be like, okay, this is just a hot minute and it's normal and it's not forever. I'm going to move forward. And my experience is okay.
Yes, for sure.
I also want to touch on the fact that you had a business before, you burnt out from that business, and it wasn't a business that was going to be able to sustain you with revenue and expenses and employees. And you closed that down and then you opened another one. And I think a lot of people would see that as like that business not succeeding, like as a failure and as like a problem that you have that can't be overcome.
Yeah.
But you just like opened another business and now you're having $10,000 months doing myofascial release only, which is so fucking awesome. Like it's just incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not normal. It's normal in our group, right? It's normal for like the 100 people that we're all like, hey, this is what we're doing, everybody. But like for the outside world, the majority of MFR therapists, I don't think it's normalized, right? I want to normalize it. That's what I'm trying my best to do, one person at a time. So I just want to like scream that out. Like that's a really good job. It's really incredible.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Well, because I think too, like it can be a little bit like maybe under celebrated because it is so normal for us in our program that people are doing. Like we have a 10K club where everybody comes to the club
Right.
because we all did it. But that's like a lot of money.
It is.
That's like doctor
I
money.
don't work a ton.
Yeah. And how many hours do you work a week? How many clients do you see on average?
Well, when I was burning out, I was seeing about 17, but I'm bringing
Yeah.
that back down to like 12 to 14. So, 12 to 14, I'm good.
And still having 10K months with the 12 to 14.
Yes.
Yeah. And you just raised your rate. So you're only going to make more money.
I know it's crazy.
Yeah. I love that for you. I love that so much. Okay. Speaking about raising your rates, like so many therapists struggle with raising their rates, and you've done it twice since we've been working together. And you didn't just raise it, like you owned it publicly in an email and online. So you updated your price online for all new people, right? And you sent an email out. What
Yes.
do you think gave you the courage to do that again?
Well, like what we said and what I said like a little while ago about sometimes you need somebody else to like believe in you, like hold that belief for you. It was needed for me to ask you to like hold that for me, like with me.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's what gave me the courage. And then looking at other people and like, no, they do it. They're doing it. Like, I can do it too then. Like, there's just no reason why not. So I just needed the culmination of watching other people, seeing their numbers and seeing them succeed and asking you to just please, like, just stand here with me while I do it.
Yeah. I'll watch. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that gave
I'll
me the
hold the line.
courage. Right. Yeah.
Did you use the new AI rate calculator to kind of help you come up with this? Because you'd already been through Raise Your Rate Bootcamp.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. What was that experience like?
It was shocking. in like the best way.
Yeah.
You kind of, I think that you had an idea that I was probably manipulating my numbers when I was like, I was like, well, I think I'm gonna like, this is the rate that like that it shot out. And you were like, is that enough to sustain you? And I was like, well, it's on the lower end. Like, it was on the lowest end of, like, the 3 that I, like, ran through, and so it was wild to see, like, if I was being honest with myself it forced me to be honest with myself, honestly.
Yeah.
So I put in, like, bare minimums, and then I was just like and then if I really wanted to cover everything, I do wanna be able to retire sometime. I do wanna be able to afford a vacation. I do want healthcare, and then when I was honest about that and put that in the calculator, I mean, it gave me the number that I needed.
Yeah.
Was uncomfortable, but, here I am.
Yeah. Exactly. And I think it's so I love that AI rate calculator because it is like a little jarring, but one of the best questions it asks you that you have to put in to get an accurate number is how much do you want to take home?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, what if you put in that you wanted to take home 10K? Like, what would your rate need to be to have that after expenses or 8K or something? Like sustainable amounts of money, because too many therapists are not paying themselves at all.
Yeah.
Right? They're only paying for themselves to go to, like, more seminars, which is super fun, but, like, it's a cycle that we all need to get out of. Like, we need to get into the, like, I pay myself money, and I do this, and I also pay for treatment.
Yes.
Because I feel like people in our group go to the most seminars because they can afford to do it, but sometimes I have to be like, "And did you pay yourself this month?" Or, like, "Is your only fun that you're having going to seminars?" So we need to have you have a life outside of that as well.
Right, absolutely, and I love how there is that expectation that you put out there, like, you need to be able to do other things, like, you deserve other things, like, it's important.
Yeah. Like, I get that it's fun. I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
I've spent entire years of salaries on MFR seminars too, but then I realized, like, I wasn't putting in the same amount of money or effort into, like, vacationing with my own family.
Right, right. Yeah. It's easy to do,
Yeah, and you can't get that time back,
Right, exactly.
and it's not that I didn't enjoy it or have fun and that it wasn't completely awesome, but, like, we also have to remember to have a life outside of our businesses.
Absolutely,
So,
yes.
okay, I'm off my soapbox for that. Okay, a lot of people that are listening to us are probably likely in the messy middle, like working more than they want to, wondering if they'll ever get consistently booked. What would you say to someone who's in that exact place, like kind of the place you were before you're where you are now? What would you say to them?
Yeah. I think that first and foremost, it's important to, like, see yourself there, like, visualize yourself there, like, see it in your mind's eye, kinda keep it there in the wake up and see that, know you deserve it. I think that's step 1, to be honest, and then I think that step 2 is getting coaching, like, find somebody that you respect, of course, like, here I am. If you're an MFR therapist, I think that you should join the program. I mean, it's like, it's obvious.
Come join us. It's fun.
But you need to, like sometimes I think our pride gets the best of us and we think that we can do it ourselves or we're like, like that's too expensive. I made my money back. I mean, I think it was within a couple of weeks, of like what I
Mhm.
spent.
I think that's good to point out. That was actually gonna be my next
Oh,
question. So
okay.
you think you made your money back
Oh,
in just a couple of weeks?
yes. It was not long. I was definitely like, oh God, because I didn't have much money. I was like, definitely.
$3,000 is some serious cash to throw down.
For sure, yeah, but, like, was it worth it in the end? Hell yeah, I'm gonna be making so much more money than I would have had I kept my rates at $100. I don't even know
Yeah.
if it was at 100, I think it might have been, like, 80, like, it was insane, and it wasn't honest. I think that, like, as MFR therapists, we wanna heal people, we wanna take care of people, but in the process, we often forget to take care of ourselves, and, like, this program has just made it very obvious that, like, really, it's like the airplane thing, like, you have to put your own mask on first, before you go and turn around to help somebody else.
Just think about the quality of the experience for your clients coming in, your clients, your patients. Like when you are coming from just this place of being well taken care of, well nourished, well rested, well vacationed, well educated, well compensated, their experience of you is going to be completely different than getting treatment from someone who's barely making it and they know the difference.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
We go to those therapists that are like hustling and grinding and working 24 hours a day to make ends meet. And
Right. It's exhausting.
yeah,
It's exhausting too, you could like, if you're sensitive to, like, energy and stuff, you can feel that coming from the other person,
yeah,
and, whether you need to put that on your client or not, you are.
you are. You can't hide it. You can't hide it to the savvy client.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so you've had some big external wins, the fully booked, the raising your rate. But what's been the most surprising internal shift you've experienced on this journey?
I think that remembering that I'm strong enough to do this in the last like 2 days since my rate increase happened, I realized that I have been scared of money, like, pretty much my entire life, and what this has helped me realize is that I have either put myself in situations that made it extremely hard if I'm going to make money. I, like, made myself go through the ringer, or I insisted on taking less because I was used to having less. And this program and this whole experience helped me to realize that pattern in my life and how I don't want that. So that's been, like, the most mind-blowing, like, "What?" How I've been doing, like,
Yeah,
so that's kind of it, yeah.
that's huge. I think anytime we can see our interaction, our relationship with money and how we continue to get the same result based on like our expectations or our discomfort level, and we'll pick the discomfort of not enough over the discomfort of having enough
Yes.
because we just simply haven't experienced that version of it often enough for it to feel normal.
Right, and I was very used to applying that concept to, like, addiction recovery, right? If I was talking to somebody that was, like, struggling, like, "Oh, you're gonna choose the hard that you know over the, hard that you don't." But when I
Yeah.
shifted it and put it in my own life around money, it was just mind-blowing to me. Like, that applies in so many different areas of our lives, and you had repeated it enough, like, in different ways that it finally, like, just the other day, I was just like, "Oh my god, I'm scared of money."
Yeah. But then you're like, but also like I really want to have some now.
Right. Yeah, so, like, I've just been like, "Universe, give it to me. I'm ready, like, give it to me."
Yeah. Which I love to see. I just love to see your face light up talking about money. And I just want that for all MFR therapists to kind of come into that relationship with money and see that it's not this like dirty topic that makes you some sort of way or icky or a bad person. What could be better being self-sufficient?
Right.
Like what could be better than that, honestly?
I mean, I've done all of the other things. I've worked for nonprofits. I've had a nonprofit. I, like, volunteered everywhere.
Yeah. You're a great person.
Yeah, so, like, if I wanna say, like, and now I need financial stability. I'm gonna sit in the power of that, and I'm gonna know that I deserve it just as much as everybody else that gets it, you know?
Yeah. And I think there's just something really cool about creating that for yourself, like financial security and stability that you decide to have and you decide to create for yourself. It's super badass. It's very sexy. It's very empowering. And it's like, do you want this? All you have to do is reach out and say, yes, I want this. And let's make a plan. And that's basically what you've done. You've just taken your own power and then like have very clear goals, $10,000 months plus, and I want a retirement and I want X amount of vacation.
Mhm. Yeah.
Really hard to hit those goals when you don't know what they are.
It is. And another thing that it's given me, another gift is, like, if I do wanna do the, like, give back, now I can financially, which you said, and, like, when I first joined the program, I was like, "That doesn't make any sense." Like, you were like, "If you make enough money, then you can go ahead, like, you can do those things," and that was so uncomfortable for me to hear for a while, until I realized when I was at my lower rate, I was like, anytime somebody wanted something or a discount, I kind of had some resentment around it, and I
Yeah.
was like, "Well, that doesn't feel good either." Like, so if I raise my rate and I get what I need, I can give, I could give back without resentment, which giving with resentment is worthless, in my opinion.
Yeah. It's not a clean exchange.
Not, yeah. And you say that a lot. A clean exchange. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah. And I love being able to give discounts, give free sessions when it makes sense for you and there's zero resentment. Then it just feels like so much more like juicy and delicious and like you actually never think about it again because it's not taking up any brain space because you're not trying to like figure out how you're going to buy groceries or pay your rent or pay for your car payment because it's not affecting those things.
Yeah. It took me a little while to finally, like, let that make sense in my brain, but it makes complete sense.
Yeah. I think it's totally jarring when I say like your open MFR business is what makes MFR accessible to people, not your discounted rate.
Right.
Like people want to punch me in the face. I've seen people look at me like,
I didn't wanna punch you. I was just like, "Oh, God."
Yeah, nobody's punched me so far. It's fine. But yeah, I mean, and I think I just need to say it over and over again. Like eventually you get it.
Yeah.
So I love that for you. And I love that for your clients. And I love that for, the charitable donations that you'll be able to make clearly and cleanly and not at the expense of whether or not you get to retire.
Yes, me too. I love that too.
I love that too. Okay. So if your past self, the Anna who joined the program, was listening to this interview, what would you want to say to her?
I would say just do it. Just do it. Like what do you have to lose? There's so many ways that we spend money in our lives and don't think about it, whether it's like buying the shoes or the coffee or whatever, like just intentionally invest in your future by getting some coaching around what you want. And I promise that it will pay off. That's what I would tell her. I just like it's gonna pay off. Just
Yeah.
lean into it.
Well, and don't you think like past Anna in November, like, aren't you ever like, she was so smart. Like she had no idea what we were even capable of. Like she had a hint, right? Like she knew stuff was possible, but she just like signed up for this, like not even knowing what was coming.
Yeah. I mean, I remember I bought your book in Sedona at the healing seminar, and I sat there like at a coffee table outside the Airbnb I rented. And I was like filling it out. And then I started listening to your podcast and I was like, all right, maybe she's onto something. And, then I was like checking out your website. It took me a little while. Actually, it didn't take me very long at all, but, it took a little while. And even just your free content is just like, it's helpful. So, like, imagine, yeah, I guess I had to tell myself, like, just imagine what's behind the other door, you know?
Yeah. Would you say there's a big difference between the free content and the paid content? Like, is it worth paying the money?
Oh my God, yes, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, if when I'm spiraling, I could just post something and, somebody can help like walk me off the ledge or like help me
Yeah.
see clear. I mean, just that in itself. I think I made a joke like this weekend when I was posting, like, me again, like I think I got my money's worth just over, the weekend with like reaching out and asking for
Like, I need dial help here.
right.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love being able to provide that kind of customer service too. And like people join the program and they're not joining to be coached by somebody else. Like I do have a co-coach that helps me so that I can take breaks and vacations and
Yeah.
she is involved because she knows everybody. But you're getting coached by me. Like this is my program. I'm an MFR therapist. I created all the content. You're gonna get me. It's not just sign up and then I ghost you. Because I think there are programs where you join and the coach is like so big, they're just no longer involved, but
Yeah.
I don't have any plans to do that. I am like too addicted to coaching everybody. I'm like, it's so rewarding for me. And I don't know, this is just like, I just love it. It's so fun.
Yeah, it shows too. And I should say, something else that I got out of the coaching that if I was just doing like just the podcast is when I was
Mhm.
struggling well, you coached me like last week or something on my price increase. And then that coaching call is recorded. So, I mean, I guess I'm not embarrassed to say it. Like I rewound and listened to you coach me probably
Yeah.
5 times before I was do it. Like I had to just keep on hearing you say it, keep on hearing you say it. And you were saying it to me. And that made all the
Yeah.
difference, so, like, I was like, "Okay, done." And just that.
I love that. And you could make any of the coaching call replays.
Oh,
You could pretend that I was literally saying it to you because all of it, it's very rarely where something doesn't it's not like for everyone because this program is so niche down to MFR therapists. Like you don't have to weed out like, oh, she's talking to a dentist or oh, she's talking to a chiropractor or oh, that's someone's yoga practice.
yeah,
And I don't know any other programs that are just for MFR therapists.
yeah. Those coaching calls are just, the value of them is just enormous, and I think I've only gotten coached on a call, like, 3 times, but I have most certainly listened to every coaching call and gotten something out of all of them. So, yeah.
I love that. And it also goes to show like you don't need to be sitting there like you can do this. You can raise your hand and get coached every week if you need that.
Mhm.
But most people, kind of come in, get what they need, go out, apply it, come in, get what they need, go out and apply it. And you're not just sitting there consuming content and not taking any action. The most successful students are like, do a little consuming, a lot of action, come back in for a little bit of mindset help, go back out, do a lot of action, come back in.
Yeah. I mean, and then just like the pyramid and things like that that are just available in, the content that we get to print out and use. It's
Yeah.
just great. Yeah. Makes it easy.
I'm always trying to make resources for you guys, make selling easier.
Yeah.
Always trying to come up with new things.
Yeah. I mean, and I guess that in itself is also like how to like arrange your bank account. Like, what?
Mhm.
Who would have, like I was terrible at that in my life, terrible. And I was so scared that that would be the case. And I was like, oh,
Yeah,
let me just, okay, she's got this module. Let me figure this out. And my bank account is arranged.
I love
Yeah.
that.
So it's been great.
Who can say that too? Like, oh, my bank account's just arranged. Like, I know what I'm doing with all of my money. Like, that's just such a huge flex too. And it doesn't take a lot of time or effort. It's just like, oh, just follow this process that we've laid out for you.
Yeah.
And you too can have the same result.
Yeah, my mom I was on a call with her just earlier today, and I was telling her that I like sold some packages or whatever. And she's like, "Oh, Mia, you're not spending it all right." And I was like, "No, it's in my business account, and then I pay myself every week, blah, blah, blah." And she was like, I know she even felt like impressed and proud of me for even having those words around it.
Yeah. Does she know that you're having $10,000 revenue
She
months?
does. She's super pumped about it. She's super pumped.
Isn't that, oh, that gives me goosebumps. It's like, it's so fun to like tell your mom,
It, it is.
and then they can be scared for you because they're like, oh no, it's too much or whatever.
Oh
But
no, she's like, no, more. You
more.
deserve
Yeah.
more.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
that. I love that. Good. It's that kind of
Yeah.
mom.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she's watching me struggle. She's like, "No, you deserve it all." Like, so that's
Yeah. Well, you do. And I think we all do. And we all just have to like decide that it's for us and you really can, anything is possible.
yes.
And a lot of the time we're just not dreaming big enough, or even we're not exposed to people that are dreaming bigger than us.
Yeah.
And so we've got to put ourselves in rooms with people that are, so that we can have that dream too.
That's exactly it. Yep. That is 100% it. Like, that's how I've lived my life, but I realized I was capping myself financially. So, yeah, it's been great.
Mhm. I love it. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining. Is there anything else you wanted to say before we wrap up?
No, just thank you for everything that you provide, and it was really great to meet you in person, and I'm happy to have done this podcast, and, yeah, I'm looking forward to everything else to come.
Great. Thank you so much, Anna. Anna's story is proof that your practice doesn't have to stay unpredictable, exhausting, and you don't ever have to under-earn. With the right coaching and strategy, you can become fully booked, charge sustainable rates, and build a business that supports your life, not the other way around. If you're listening and you see yourself in Anna's story, I want you to know that this kind of transformation is possible for you too. You don't have to hustle harder or keep patching things together. You just need the right framework, support, and coaching to guide you. Anna, thank you so much for sharing your journey so openly today, and for all of you guys tuning in and listening. I hope you leave this episode inspired to take your next bold step forward. And if that step forward means joining us in coaching, please go to the mfrcoach.com/foundation and join us today. And I'll see you next week on another episode of the MFR Coaches Podcast. Bye for now. Thanks for listening to the MFR Coaches Podcast. If you're ready to grow your myofascial release practice, make sure to sign up for my next free training. These live webinars are designed to help you take real steps towards building a fully booked, profitable business. You can save your seat and find the latest dates at themfrcoach.com/webinar. And if you're looking for more support, the Foundations program is now open year-round. Inside, you'll get coaching, tools, and community to help you get fully booked and stay that way without burning out. One last thing before you go. My brand new book, Your MFR Practice Starts Here, is now available. It's a must-read for any MFR therapist who wants to build a business that actually works. You can grab your copy on Amazon and get your companion guide by going to themfrcoach.com/book. Start implementing right away. I'll see you in the next episode.